NCP strongman Sharad Pawar decided against visiting the Enforcement Directorate office today, 2 days after he said he would show up despite not being given any summons. The Enforcement Directorate has booked the senior leader in the 25,000 crore rupee Maharashtra State Cooperative scam. The Mumbai police had to enforce Section 144 in some parts of the city in anticipation of Pawar supporters pouring in. But the NCP chief changed his mind at the last minute, citing a request from the Mumbai police. The NCP and the Congress now claim that the case against Pawar and other members of the NCP is nothing but political vendetta, that too less than a month before the state of Maharashtra goes to polls. The BJP meanwhile has denied these allegations. So what's the true picture? Joining me today to speak on this are Hitesh Jain, spokesperson of the BJP, Clyde Crasto from the NCP in our studios today, and Sudhir Suryavanshi, political analyst. Welcome to all of you. Clyde, let me come to you first. What has been happening for the last few days? Mr. Pawar first said he would go when he didn't have any summons. Today he said, okay, now I'm not going. Why this change in decision?
I'll tell you exactly what happened. What Mr. Pawar said was, we are facing the elections right now, so the next 30 days is going to be election campaigning. So he's going to be traveling out of Mumbai city and traveling all over Maharashtra and campaigning during the election. Now, since he is in Mumbai for the next 2-3 days, what he said was, since the ED has mentioned my name, I'd like to go to the ED, cooperate with them, give them all the answers to their queries or their questions. So it makes it, better that if I'm traveling, then you call me, maybe, it'll cut down his travel during the campaign election. So he just thought that I'll go to ED and I'm there to answer all the questions. That's
Clyde,
what it was.
Clyde, you know how it works. The ED will summon you and then you'll go if it need be. This was clearly an attempt to milk it for political mileage, to play the victim card.
No, you can say that. I mean, that's your prerogative to say what you want to say. But I can say the same thing for the BJP. The elections are declared, code of conduct comes into place, and then something like this comes up. And why I'm stressing on this point is it's very clear that he was never a member of any of this bank. He was never on the board of any of these banks.
Okay.
So why mention his name just on the basis of someone saying that he could be the influencer? If that is the case, there are other leaders from the Shiv Sena, from the BJP who are on the board of directors there. So are you trying to say, or are they trying to say that their leaders influence?
Okay.
If so, call their leaders also and investigate.
Hitesh, you want to respond to that? The charge is that this is all political vendetta. This case started in 2010-2011, by the way. That time, the then government headed by the Congress, who is today supporting Mr. Pawar, was the one who initiated this. That at that point, both of them were fighting. But the timing is odd, isn't it?
It has nowadays become a routine practice to call any action against corruption political vendetta. My friends are aware that vendetta cannot be a legitimate defense in any action of corruption. As far as Mr. Pawar is concerned, frankly speaking, there is a famous saying, a leader shows the way. And what we have seen in the last few months is he is off the way. So he is facing the trust credibility, he is facing the credibility crisis, he is facing the credibility crisis amongst his own party people. His party people has deserted. The message is that NCP is nowhere in the picture. There are articles written, the talk on the ground, if you ask, the morale of the NCP worker is all-time low, and they don't feel that they are not even having any chance in the poll. So when your party morale is low, you come with such political stunts. No. Tamanna, this is a political stunt which you have devised to stay relevant in the elections.
No, but then if it's a political stunt, follow-up question for Hitesh. If it's a political stunt, then the ED and the Maharashtra government who sanctioned the inquiry has handed it to Mr. Pawar on a platter. Whether morale is low or not is a different question. Half the leaders are quitting, latest being Ajit Pawar we hear, and many of them are joining the BJP. Why you're taking them as a separate discussion and debate? But if it's a political stunt, haven't you given him the opening?
Well, we have not given him the opening. The matter is a open and shut case for Mr. Pawar in the elections also. He may try the stunt. He is not going to succeed, because I mentioned about the trust and the credibility crisis. He is facing, his party is facing the credibility crisis, and his own leadership is facing credibility crisis. I will give you just one illustration. Just listen to Harshavardhan Patil. He was committed support in the Lok Sabha election in lieu of support for Supriya Sule. As soon as the Lok Sabha elections are over, he is told, who are you? How can you stand in the Indapur elections? All the promises made are forgotten. These are not my word, these are Harshavardhan Patil's word.
Okay. The problem with BJP, Tamanna.
So when your leadership credibility is and when people are questioning you,
leadership credibility but what does leadership credibility have to do with the charge of vendetta anyway? Clyde coming, yes.
Tamanna, now I've heard Hitesh out. The fact is he spoke about credibility crisis and all that. That's his opinion. We know what Saab's credibility is and we are all there with him.
Yeah.
Now there are two things I'd like to tell you. Is, the BJP is used to hearsay, like he spoke about Harshavardhan Patil. They are also believing on the hearsay of one Mr. Surinder Arora, whom we know is linked to the BJP.
But what has happened to Mr. Ajit Pawar?
Well, I just walked in, so I have no idea. So once I get details on it, I can talk to. But let me tell you about Surinder Arora. Now, they are basing this whole FIR on the kind of what Mr. Arora has said, right?
And the NABARD report.
No, see.
The NABARD report as well.
Again, but the question here is, okay, let's go, what you say for a moment, let's look at this. But if they're going to listen to Mr. Arora, okay, now let me tell you one more thing. Because of Mr. Arora's statement, the ED has taken a suo motu cognizance because the EOW does not have Mr. Pawar. The EOW does not have Mr. Pawar's name in it, right? Nowhere is it mentioned. Now the ED anyway took a suo motu cognizance and they've named it. Now my question is, the PMC bank scam that has been highlighted.
Yeah.
There is a BJP MLA's son who's on the board of directors there. It is already proved. He's on the board of directors. So will the ED take suo motu cognizance and file an FIR against him?
But we'll have to see.
No, so it's been last 3 days. What have they done?
But this has happened since 2010, 2011.
So what were they doing for 5 years?
Clyde, my point is,
Tamanna, what were they doing for 5 years? This is my question.
No, my point is simple. Whether this political vendetta or not, there is no way to prove it either here or there. It's your word against Hitesh's and that will go on. But this is a case that has been going on since 2010, 2011. Is it a coincidence that this has now come to the fore before the elections? No. It doesn't still take away from the fact that there's a huge scam in this bank and a lot of members of the NCP were on the board.
So there are two parts to this. We've been very categorical about this whole thing. There are two parts to it. One part is where Mr. Pawar's name has been mentioned, where he's not even remotely connected to this bank. And the other part is, like you mentioned, there are directors of the bank who also, some of them belong to my. So the law is taking its course, they will be called for investigation and whatever comes out of it, we are ready to face it. Who's saying no?
But even Mr. Pawar says he's ready to face anyway.
Yeah, but why call him when his name is not even there?
But they didn't call him. He's saying I'll go on my own.
His name is there in the FIR, right?
Yeah, but
so
no one called him.
So they're going to call him any which ways, right?
They
so
will
I
decide.
Explained to you.
They will decide.
No, what did I explain to you,
Okay, 1 minute.
I explained to you the whole situation.
Clyde, they will decide. You can't decide.
आपने मेहमान बनाया जबकि वहाँ कुछ था ही नहीं.
एक मिनट. Sudhir Suryavanshi is waiting. Let him also speak.
मान ना मान मैं तेरा मेहमान.
हितेश, आपने मेहमान बनाया आपने.
Okay. 1 minute. Sudhir Suryavanshi, I want you to come in on this and tell me whether there's going to be any impact on the Maharashtra polls or not, and how do you see this play? The fact is that the ECIR mentioned Mr. Sharad Pawar's name. He was not summoned. He then says, I will go. Today he says, because there have been requests, section 144, I don't want to trouble the people of Mumbai, etc., I will not go. How do you see this in terms of political play?
If you see this entire episode which has played out entire day, there are a couple of things we need to understand. First thing, unless and until the ED has summoned you, you cannot go and appear before the ED. But the Pawar wants to play the political game and take the political mileage out of it. So he said that, and the Pawar is a very astute sort of politician, and he has been in politics from last 50 years. So he knows how to play the card and when and how. So rather than waiting ED summons, he decided to appear before the ED. Stating that he will be busy in the elections. So by doing this, what he achieved? See, politics is all art of the perception.
No, but then
nobody sees what exactly the details are there. Just like that he did in the UP also.
Sudhir, I'm sorry to cut in. I'm sorry to cut in. But then if that was a master stroke, that the moment the name appeared, instead of other top opposition leaders whose name have appeared in different investigations, and instead of going to court, asking for anticipatory bail, fighting it or whatever, he said, okay, chalo, I will come. Political play. Why did he change his mind today? Why didn't he follow through?
Yeah. No, there are reasons. See, the Maharashtra State Assembly election is round the corner. Everybody is deserting him. Even the Ajit Pawar news is emerging. Whether he is remain to NCP or go any party or BJP, something like that, we don't know exactly at this moment. So everybody is deserting him. So at this moment, Mr. Pawar wants to play some game and to achieve something out of it. Therefore, to play a turn the table, he said that he will appear before the ED, and as a perception battle, he has won and he has generated a lot of sympathy by playing the victim card today. So how much it will benefit him in the electoral politics, that we have to wait for the election. But whatever is there, the cadre which was in a very sleepy stage or gone into the shell has been little bit get activated. So that activated, how much it will translate into the seat, that we have to see during after the elections only. But at least Pawar has made the battle between the Delhi and the Maharashtra. He is playing as a victimhood as a Maharashtra, and he has also emotionally appealed to his followers and the people who say in Maharashtra, saying that he will not bow before the Delhi power, just like that the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who never bow before the Delhi power. So he wants to play the emotional game.
We will not bow down to the Delhi throne.
With the people of the Maharashtra.
Hitesh, do you think that will backfire? Politically, do you think it will backfire?
So
that the Maratha strongman has been summoned?
Well,
that whole victimhood card. Do you think it will backfire for the BJP?
Well, this will backfire certainly on Mr. Pawar, because as I mentioned, I started this debate on the basis of trust and credibility. The fact people realize the difference between the stunt and the people realize between the reality. There is a saying that what goes around and comes back all the way around. This is a practice, this is the politics played by Mr. Pawar. He has broken so many families, he has broken so many parties. Where did Chhagan Bhujbal come from? Where did where did the origination of NCP
so you believe what goes around comes
the
around.
number of Shiv Sena leaders that joined, the number of BJP leaders that joined, the number of BJP leaders that joined and all.
One minute.
Come on, Clyde, allow me to finish the allow me to finish the frankly speaking, today Mr. Pawar is standing all alone. Mr. Pawar is standing all alone, and the stunt, when a person is standing all alone without any organization, such stunts do not have any ground, do not hold any ground, and they cannot be of any assistance for such kind of stunts to Mr. Pawar.
Okay. Hitesh said, Clyde, you can have your say, but let me just place a question before you. Sharad Pawar has never lost an election. He has a stellar track record as a politician, but even you have to admit this is his toughest time yet.
No, why? I mean, ups and downs come in life in any which way.
This is the worst of the downs possible.
No, why? How do you look at last? See, what Hitesh was talking about stunt, is the stunt started by the BJP. They played the stunt. What was the reason to name him? What was the reason for him to be in that FIR? There was no reason. He's not connected at all. And now
Clyde,
if he's going by...
Clyde, I'm sorry, but that is the prerogative of investigative agencies.
Right.
You cannot decide.
No, but there is a law, there is a process. You tell me something. If you are not remotely connected to anywhere, that is the issue that is going on, and you've been summoned, they started this whole thing.
Out of the 42 directors, Ajit Pawar is on the board.
Yes.
How many leaders of NCP are on the board?
The leaders of BJP are there, Shiv Sena are there, PWP there, on that board.
On MSC.
Yeah, yes, all of them. Shiv Sena, BJP, PWP, all of them are there. See, like I told you before, let me repeat it again. There are two parts to it. We are categorically saying that Mr. Pawar was never a member or not a director of that board. Why call him? Why name him?
It will be proven.
The EOW.
It will be proven. By the way, Enforcement Directorate has the worst conviction rate. So if it is wrong, it will be proven.
Yeah, so
why are you milking it?
No, who's milking it? They started it. We are just going by what is happening there.
Quick word from Hitesh, and then I have to wrap the show. I'm completely out of time. Yes, Hitesh. The timing is a little suspicious.
Tamanna, when NCP was in power, so I said what goes around comes around. When NCP was in power, they prosecuted people who were neither directors, neither members on the ground that they are kingpin.
No.
One example, they prosecuted their own MLA, Mr. Suresh Dada Jain, on the ground of kingpin. They devised the theory of kingpin. You don't need to be the member of board. You don't need to be the member of
are you trying to say,
but
Ritesh?
it is something called kingpin.
No.
And as
So
a kingpin, everybody
he's a lawyer himself, and he's
your,
doubting the judiciary.
they are agents.
He's a lawyer and he's doubting the judiciary. He's casting aspersions on the verdict of the judiciary.
One minute.
How silly can Ritesh get?
No, 1 minute.
How silly can he
Guys,
get?
I'm going to have to wrap this. I'm going to have
How
to wrap
silly
this.
can Ritesh get?
I'm
Being
going to
a
have to wrap
lawyer.
this. Wait, 1 minute.
Being a lawyer,
Clive
he's
Ritesh,
questioning the judicial.
I'm out of time.
probe.
I'm out of time. He's questioning the judiciary.
No,
You're
the
questioning
judiciary
the
gave the
Enforcement
verdict.
Directorate.
We did not give the verdict.
One. I'm out of time. I'm going to have to end this conversation saying very simply that at the end of the day, in this election, the good and the benefit of the people of Maharashtra is what matters. For Sharad Pawar, this is a do or die election. It is going to be a battle for survival, and we'll have to wait and see whether the wily politician who has never lost an election manages to pull through this one. We'll have to wait and see how this entire ED investigation changes things, if it does. I want to thank all of you for joining us on the show this evening, but before we go, I want to end with some food for thought and some good news, really. Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old who has shaken the world and spoken true words and tough talk to world leaders at the United Nations. Remember the Youth Strike for Climate movement? Well, she has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, which has given a huge push to her activism and her hope to secure a better tomorrow for the next generation. So even as we bring this important news to you, I want to leave you with pictures of the Friday climate strike that Greta has inspired around the world, including in Indian cities like Chennai, in Finland, in Auckland. From around the world, people today are striking, kids are striking and saying that stand up for Mother Earth and our future. I want to leave you with that thought, because in the middle of everything, we shouldn't forget the big matters which truly impact our life. Thank you so much for watching us. We'll see you back here on Monday.